Hello, hello! First of all, I want to make a disclaimer because I realized the previous weeks I've been saying you should a lot, and I really don't mean you should. It's just that my English vocabulary is maybe not so nuanced. Nuanced? Yes. You should take what I say with a grain of salt, and you should try out for yourself and what works for you and what works for your body. So that was my disclaimer. Please have patience with me. Today we're going to talk about where I would start if I would start my health journey today. My name is Elin Pofs, and this is Locked In and Synced Up. Welcome.
Locked in and synced up.
I know you are busy. I know you are very ambitious, an ambitious woman, and you want me to shoot straight and not just talk theory. So I'm going to give you like practical, tangible takeaways, or I'm going to like describe exactly what I do, and you can do as you please. I'm going to make one more disclaimer. I think it's very important also to manage like your nervous system, but that one is so big and so broad, so we're not going to dig into that today. I will probably make a separate episode on the nervous system and what that actually is and how we can regulate it and so on. If I would do everything from the beginning, where would I start? Because it's easily very overwhelming and there's so much you can do, but this is where I would start. I made 4 pillars or 4 different categories, and when I was thinking about them, I realized it's like kind of bottom, top, inside, out, because we're going to talk about feet, mind, gut, and skin. Maybe it sounds boring, but please, yes, we're going to talk feet. Don't, just let me explain. I think these 4 are the base, and then the big one, nervous system, but we're going to do that one another time. So I think, except for that one, these are the 4 bases, because your feet are literally like the base of your body, and the gut is so important for everything hormone related and nourishment. Your mind creates your reality, so that one is kind of important, and your skin is your biggest organ. So I think these 4 are a pretty good base. Okay, feet. I don't understand why some people are so grossed out about feet. Like you're taking care of your face like it's, I don't know, very important, like it's somehow more worthy than your feet that you are like walking on every single day, and you never take care of your feet, just of your face. So it's like ranking different animals, like horses are much more worth than a rabbit. Please take care of your feet. Don't let them fend for themselves. And what I can't really wrap my head around is like people working out and being so fixated on different body parts, but then you just lock your feet into some shoes and go work out in the gym, and you're lifting heavy and you're doing the job, but the muscles in your feet aren't working at all because you just lock them in a tight gym shoe. So like we're doing a lot of work, but if you would just free your feet, you would do more work. So you're like preventing the muscles to get stronger, which is a bit weird, I think. I don't know who said it, this isn't my saying, but why do we have shoe-shaped feet and not feet-shaped shoes? Yeah. And I'm not saying that walking barefoot will like solve all your problems, but everything starts from the bottom up. If your feet aren't able to work as they should, then maybe your ankles will compensate, or your knees, or your hips, or maybe your lower back, or your upper back, or your shoulders. So I'm not saying it will solve everything, but it definitely won't hurt. And I know, some people are like, but barefoot shoes are so ugly. Yes, maybe. Maybe some, but not mine. My philosophy is that the absolute majority of my time I'm walking around bare feet inside, or like in socks, or in barefoot shoes outside, so that when I want to dress up, my feet and my ankles are super strong to walk in heels or whatever and look great. Because that's one thing. Actually, when I stopped wearing normal shoes, I'm never going back, by the way, and started wearing only barefoot shoes, my calves got so strong and great looking, if I may say so myself. That happened naturally just from me switching shoes, which is amazing. Also, I feel so much lighter on my feet. You know the feeling when you get home and you can finally take your shoes off and it's like, oh. I never have that, or I have that all the time. So yes, you can see I'm a bit passionate about barefoot shoes. And I also love fashion, so it doesn't have to be either or. You can definitely take it as a challenge. If you like fashion, then find some barefoot shoes that you like and just make it work, match it, style it. Also, I want to point out that there are different kinds, of course, of barefoot shoes. If I would put them like in levels, there's wide toe shoes, like shoes with wide toe boxes, which is better than normal shoes because your toes get the space they need to not like misform or whatever. Then there are barefoot shoes, like with zero drop angle and really thin bottom. What is it called? Sole, maybe, yes. And of course the wide toe box and so on. And then maybe the hardcore level, which I am not on, is the one where, you know, the toes have a separate toe. So it actually looks like bare feet. I'm not there yet. I haven't yet leveled up my fashion skills so much that I can make them look good, but you do you. I'm in the middle, so I like the wide toe shoes is not doing much for me. I really like the thin sole and wide toe box and super soft and bendy. It just makes your feet work in a totally different way than normal shoes or even the wide toe shoes. Okay, what else? Yes, I feel so much lighter on my feet. I feel stronger. I've been using barefoot shoes for maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe. But really in the beginning I was like, I'm never going back. Just because I felt so alert all the time. I was ready for anything, like bring it on. Karate or whatever, I was ready. And also, my balance it was pretty good, not gonna lie, but it's definitely better because all the small muscles in your feet get to work in a total different way, and you don't even have to work out. You just throw your old shoes away, maybe not throw away, give them to someone else and wish them luck. No, I'm kidding. But just from walking, just from everyday life, so you don't even have to like work out. But putting them in normal shoes and going to the gym is just like, it doesn't make sense for me. Let's say you want to buy barefoot shoes. Where to start? I know, it's a jungle. I'm not sponsored in any way, but I can recommend some brands that have worked for me. The biggest one, like officially biggest, not maybe my favorite, but the biggest brand is Vivo Barefoot. And they have a great variety of shoes, so they are really nice. Then I like Muki shoes. I don't know how to say it, but Muki shoes. They are from Portugal, I think, and like it's a small business. I love them. And then I really like, I'm from Finland, so I like Vaistoa. They are, okay, I don't want to be mean. The shoes are a bit boring, like they don't have much personality, but they do make the best winter shoes because, well, from Finland, so they are not guessing, they are actually making shoes for our environment. So that is amazing. So all my winter shoes are from there, and I think they make the like most comfortable shoes, but yeah, a bit boring, but great. Like, well, go check them out and you will see. And then when you have your barefoot shoes, go for a walk. Walk a lot. Walking is great. Walk just normally. Do walking meetings. If you want a little bit more challenge, put a weighted vest on. Go for a walk. If you want even more challenge, put your weighted Put your weighted vest on and go walking in some stairs, and you will thank me later. Or not, depending on, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the gut. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on the gut because it is very complicated, but kind of everything happens in the gut. A lot of hormones are created here, and your nutrient absorption. What? Nutrient absorption. Why was that hard? I don't know how to say it, but where your nutrients are absorbed. Okay. So basically, if you have problems with your gut, like leaky gut or just a lot of bloating or something else, there's probably some imbalance, and that usually also means that your nutrient absorption is not working at its full potential, and the same with your hormones and so on and so on. So many weird symptoms can actually stem from your gut. And this was so obvious for me. One time, I'm gluten-free, and I went to a restaurant. It was actually a pretty dramatic story, but basically I ordered gluten-free pasta. They wrote down gluten-free pasta. When they served me, they said gluten-free pasta and put it on the table, and I ate, and halfway through I was like, are you sure it's gluten-free? Because I mean, kind of as a gluten-free person, I have developed a seventh sense or sixth sense or whatever, and that is to instantly taste gluten. But the bread that I ate before, that they served me for starters, it was really, really, really good. It was like the best bread I've ever had. So I was like, maybe they have the best pasta also. But yeah, no. The waitress was like, yes, it's gluten free. But I can go double check with the chef. And then she came almost running out of the kitchen and was like, I'm so sorry, it's not gluten free. And it was dramatic because it was the last day of my vacation, and I knew that this is gonna fuck me up real bad, excuse my language. And I'm an entrepreneur, so, well, the business is not gonna run itself, and I had been gone for a week or two, and I was so ready to get back and get some work done. But I couldn't because I didn't get like instantly sick, which was super good because we had a few hours home. So I'm so happy that I didn't have to like have a sleepover at some gas station because I was shitting my pants. I got home before the worst happened. But basically, okay, sorry, you're getting way too much information. But long story short, after that incident, like the next day, I was so tired. I got depressed like overnight. Also, I got sick later, like a few days or maybe a week later, because my immune system was shut down because it was working on the inflammation in my body from the gluten. And yeah, it was horrible, and I was so tired. And yeah, well, maybe the biggest realization, the biggest thing that I realized, or what came a little bit as a shock to me, was my mood. because I was depressed. I've been that depressed when I was burnt out. But that came like this. The gluten incident came overnight. Like my personality changed overnight because, well, yeah, my body wasn't working as it was supposed to, and it wasn't creating the hormones that I needed. And then later I got sick, as I said. So crazy. Your gut is really important. And with that said, like practical, tangible takeaways, I would recommend maybe not eating things that make you, not eating things that lead to inflammation, which can be many different things. But at least myself and I try to avoid caffeine for different reasons, but it's really not that good for female biology. And I try to avoid raffinated sugar because that's not doing much good for my body either. And then highly processed food, and especially in the late luteal phase, because that's when you're extra sensitive, and eating a lot of sugar then will like directly affect your PMS and your mood. So it's just very unnecessary. We have so much processed food and pesticides, and we have come so far from like the original food, or what should I call it? But like when you were farming the things yourself and not spraying your food and not shipping it across the globe and not putting a lot of plastics and processing it. So like the nutrition in our food today and the nutrition in that food is highly different. And not only aren't we getting enough nutrition from our food, we are also eating a lot of unnecessary harmful stuff. So with that said, organic is your best friend. And also what people ate a lot back in the days that we have kind of forgotten about, except cool hip stuff like kombucha, is to ferment foods, because then it creates these bacteria that are really good for your gut. I don't know what else I was supposed to say about that, but my conclusion: eat more fermented stuff. And actually that's something I would love to learn. I haven't yet tried making my own kombucha or fermenting kimchi or sauerkraut or anything, but I will definitely start, because it feels like if you start you can't stop, and it would just be great for my gut, and also for eliminating like excess estrogen, which most of us women have. Recommend. Okay, so we've talked about feet, we've talked about the gut. Let's talk about your skin. There is so much to be said about your skin. It's your biggest organ. It gives really great feedback on how your inside is doing. So if the outside, like if your skin is really dull, or breakouts, or anything really, it's a direct reflection on what is happening in your body. And at least for me, this is where stress shows up first. Like, if I would be more attentive, I could feel it inside. But actually, like, signs that other people can see would be my skin. Mostly breakouts. And one time when it was really, really, really bad, I got super itchy skin. And, okay, don't do this. One time my stress levels were so high for so long that I got really itchy skin, and it felt like it was burning like all day, all night. And then, okay, well, this is too much information, but long story short, it disappeared when I started really resting. and I actually just booked a trip abroad and got some sunlight and got some good sleep. It got a bit it got really bad, so I felt like I didn't really have a choice and I needed change now. So anyways, listen to your skin. If you haven't already listened to your heart and to your mind and to your pulse and your blood pressure, then at least when it shows up on your skin, you should. Now I was gonna say you should again. But yeah, you should listen. Also, hormone imbalances can show up on your skin, and what you eat will also affect how your skin looks and feels, which then is a reflection on how you're doing on the inside. Anyways, there's so much to be said, but today I just want to mention that what we put on the skin really matters because it's absorbing everything. And here you can be very hardcore and do organic clothing, organic everything, organic cotton, linen, which I'm slowly changing my wardrobe to become that, especially like your underwear, which is in direct contact with your body, and also sportswear because you are sweating in it, which will release more toxins. So at least sportswear and underwear in organic materials. But that is already, in my opinion, hardcore, but definitely worth thinking about. And as I said, I'm slowly getting rid of stuff from my wardrobe and changing it to new, better stuff. Also, when it comes to your skincare routine and your makeup, that is maybe where I recommend to start. There are different apps for this because I realized this can get really expensive real fast. But I got an app that's called Think Dirty. There was another also that seemed really good, but I couldn't use it. It's only for the US. So you can Google that, but at least I use Think Dirty and I can scan like the different products and it gives me an average number on how harmful or whatever the product is. So it's kind of saving me a bit of time and energy because I don't really have the energy to read through everything. But then also a good guideline is less is more. So less ingredients usually equals better because that means less crap in your product. And again, I don't want you to freak out. I don't need you to run to your makeup bag and pour everything in the trash. But as you finish different products, maybe you can just think about buying something else, something that would benefit your skin and your health in a better way. But everything is a process. I've used the app Think Dirty to scan and find new products. And slowly but surely, I'm getting rid of the old ones. And I'm also finding really good brands that I know, like that all their products are good. So that's helping a lot, that I can just order from this brand and I know it's going to be great and good for my skin. Okay, that was skin. We've done feet, gut, and skin. Let's talk about your mind. I could probably have a whole podcast dedicated to only psychology and mindset and so on. So we could talk about this forever, but the things I wanted to talk about today are a few things. First of all, your mind is amazing. And I know you've heard this before, but really what you think creates your reality and what you think will become your reality. So why not think good things about yourself and believe in yourself and all the cheesy stuff, because it's true. Like, it's really just up to you if you're living in a crappy, boring world, because you can change your mindset and live in a much better world where you are the boss of your life, not some victim to your circumstances. circumstances, if that makes sense. Another thing that I've found really fun is being a little bit delulu. Not necessarily like believing it full out, but just changing my mindset has helped me a lot. For example, taking on the personality of, I was going to say a gym bro, but I haven't gone to the gym in a while. And I'm a bit intimidated. But I'm a gym rat. That's what I'm telling myself. So I just walked in there and bought a gym membership and just owned the place like I've never done anything else but been to a gym and asked them to show me around. Yeah. So I will probably succeed better than if I was thinking I will try to start going to the gym. Maybe that was a bad example. I will... Okay, sugar. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. Might work, might not work. But if you say, no thank you, I don't eat sugar. That's like a identity change, which make your actions follow. So there's like two ways to do it. Either you do something repeatedly, like you go to the gym many times and then you feel like a gym shark, rat, bro, what is it called in English? No idea. Gym person. Or then you decide I'm a gym person and you start going to the gym. If you catch my thought. Two more things. This all or nothing mindset has to stop. No offense, I've done it myself like 1,000 times. But it keeps you stuck, doesn't it? If you're thinking, I have to do everything perfect, and if you fail, then you think you start on Monday or you start next week. But it's really like the all or nothing mindset is just keeping you stuck and giving you an excuse to not do things. Really, every small decision, every small better decision is success. So that's what we're aiming for. What they call baby steps. But baby steps it's more than that, because every time you make a better decision, you will make it easier to make that good or better decision again. So it's really more than just that step. It actually makes the next good step easier, if that makes sense. And it's like biology, because your neurons in your brain, each time they fire or you fail, not really failing, but you think that you are failing and you stop, then that will happen again and again. But if you choose to do a decision better, like a decision that is not your normal... Wow, this was hard to explain in English. So doing what you always do is easy. Your routines, they are easy. But every time you break that and make a better decision, your neurons are firing in new ways, which will open up for more flexibility and just make it easier to do those good decisions again. Okay, this was too complicated. I'm losing myself. I'm losing my own thought. But yes, the all or nothing mindset is not serving you and it's not serving me. So let's find a better way. And lastly, this scarcity mindset is holding us back. Thinking that you only have so and so many opportunities, or thinking that there's only so and so much money in the world to be made, or there's only so and so many clients, and now she got those clients that I really wanted, or she's having success, or he is doing that I wanted to do. That's not taking away from anything that you are doing or anything that you have. The only thing it's taking away is your energy and your creativity and honestly a bit of charisma. Because we want to lift each other. We want to cheer her on and cheer her on, which will lift you and make you a more fun person to be around. So the scarcity mindset is making you less fun and it's not serving you. It's holding you back. And if you're freed from scarcity mindset, that is amazing. And that was all for today. Feet, gut, skin, and mind. That's where I would start.